Right now, let's turn our attention to, well, you know, some of the latest woke stories that are impacting particularly women's rights. And a protest had happened yesterday at a men's Nations League game against the Republic of Ireland. More than 200 women and men descended on Wembley amid growing outrage over a 6-match suspension imposed on a 17-year-old with suspected autism, who wept about being grilled about her comments simply for asking a bearded transgender person, "Are you a man?" Which seems to me to be a fairly reasonable thing to ask. We talked about that story before. But 1205 is now a UK protest collective. They want to raise awareness of the various injustices for women posed by men claiming to be women. And they've said, basically, we need to take action, and they're planning another protest very soon as well. Delighted to say that writer and co-founder of 1205, Jean Hatchet, joins us right now. Good afternoon to you.
Good afternoon.
Thank you so much for joining us. And I remember talking about this case involving this 17-year-old, and it wasn't just extraordinary because, I mean, she just hadn't done anything wrong for the first point, and even if she had, that ban. But the FA basically banned her from matches. Football is her life. She's absolutely distraught about this. And you and your fellow protesters have said, we're going to stand up for her. So what have your protests involved? And why also are you called 12 of 5? 1205, sorry.
Yeah, we initially got together as a group of women from different groups, actually, and we decided we'd work together in support of the German women in the introduction of self-ID, which happened a couple of weeks ago. Yeah. And then we stayed together and said, right, OK, what do we do next? What else can we look at, which is really fundamentally unfair for women? And there are so many things, as you well know. So we decided that in this specific instance, it was so blatantly unfair. It was persecution by a large organisation, a large captured organisation who seem to believe that men can become women simply by saying so, even if they've got a beard or whatever. And we're just not prepared to indulge that kind of delusional fantasy or whatever it is, because you're actually, you know, taking away, like you say, the opportunities to play sport for girls and women. Because if there's one bloke with a beard on that team, that's
without a beard, but a bloke.
Or without a beard, it doesn't matter. He's a man, and that is what she correctly said. It's like, this was the truth. Yeah. She asked the question, "Are you a man?" And the answer can only be one thing: yes.
And whether or not he thinks he is or he doesn't think he is, I don't really care, because you either are a man or you're not. But either way, a question it can't be, shouldn't be an issue anyway. But it's interesting. I say this 1205 comes from the German phrase 1205, and it's sort of a phrase meaning it's just too late. Women are standing up and having enough of this. What I love is also how many dads, how many men have just said, no, it's not happening to my daughter. They're seeing this happening. They're fed up with it. They don't want the boys in the girls' changing rooms or the girls' toilets. Everyone is waking up to this. Are you hopeful that, I mean, you might not be a Trump fan. I'm not a Trump fan as a person, as a human being. But actually, Donald Trump being elected in the White House in America, we're downstream from everything culturally that happens in America, that actually he's going to put a stop to a lot of this madness happening in sport, happening in, I mean, you know, Leah Thomas, the swimmer, was a key part of people becoming aware of the unfairness of this 6'1" bloke beating women in swimming. What a surprise. That actually he can put a stop to this, and that will help bring the sanity back here as well.
I think, we're not called Turf Island for nothing. Women here have been fighting this, even when things were being overturned in the US and the madness really took hold there, and there were some terrifying things happening for women there. Here, we haven't stopped. We've just grown in strength. There are so many advocacy groups. We're just one of them. Yeah. We're all working in the same direction, loosely and broadly. We haven't been able to get the Labour Party to pay any attention at all to what they should be paying attention to. But we're going to get on the streets. That's what we have decided as a group.
When's your next protest?
We're just looking at a few things, actually, that we can do around this issue. So potentially, well, we're definitely going to turn up to the Lionesses match in Sheffield.
And have you had much support from the Lionesses? Because they were very big, aren't they, about the Euros, supporting the winning captain of the winning team when she was being kissed outrageously by her. Was it German Dutch, I can't remember where they were from.
Spanish?
Spanish, yes, Spanish. Claire's helped me out there. They were very big on women's rights there. And, have the Lionesses joined your campaign?
Well, we've been asking this of a number of high-profile sports people. You know, I've been asking in short videos, when are you going to stand up for the girls who are coming after you, or the girls that are, you know, maybe not even going to get to the stage where they can play? Yeah. The Lionesses have had this huge career, fabulous support from all of us. We all love them. But where are they? Because they are letting down this girl, but also girls like her that are watching and thinking, well, we can't say that, we can't object, this will happen to us too.
Absolutely.
And that's why, you know, we as largely a bunch of middle-aged women.
It's funny how middle-aged women, we're just kind of not prepared to be pushed around, are we? Jane Hatchet, please come on the show again. It was so nice. I'm sorry we didn't have too much time, but it's so good to speak to you. Well done, you. She's one of us. We like this. Writer and co-founder of 1205. Thank you for that. Claire Pearsall, your thoughts on this?
No, I mean, it's just beggars belief that here we are in 2024. Still having this conversation about a bearded opponent. No offence to your
beard or no beard.
Colleague,
it's like you're either a man or you're a woman. But also, I mean, it's just. I mean, again, there's another story we didn't even have a chance to get to. Sarah Holman, again, handed out of a job at Bracknell Forest Council. She complained to HR management when the women's toilets and the men's toilets all became gender neutral. It's like, I don't want a bloke with his bits out in my toilet.
Well,
we need to take. You know what? A bunch of stubborn. Don't mess with stubborn middle-aged women, because we will win. We've done marriage. We win these things.